Susie Ellis, con la cual tengo una relación epistolar hace muchísimos años, no nos habíamos encontrado hasta hoy aquí en Punta del Este, y veréis que es una grandísima experta en el mercado del wellness y seguro que nos hace una aportación muy interesante. Cuando quieras, Susie.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very delighted to be here. This is my first time in Uruguay and my first event with UNWTO. Thank you to Yolanda. I'm a new affiliate member, and so I'm really delighted to be here. So thank you for inviting me. And I did have a little bit of a tour yesterday of Uruguay, and it's beautiful, and I had absolutely no idea. So I'm excited about what I'm going to be able to introduce, which is wellness tourism, because I do feel that that's something that will be a good fit here, as it has been in other places around the world. So wellness tourism, I call it a natural seasonality solution. Just a quick introduction. I'm part of the Global Wellness Institute, and underneath that we have the Global Spa and Wellness Summit that happens once a year in different parts of the world, and we've had 8 meetings. And the Global Wellness Tourism Congress, which last year met in India, in New Delhi, and this year in September will meet in Morocco. Wellness tourism is fairly new in terms of a sector. Naturally, people have traveled for their health for many, many years, from the beginning of time. But the term wellness tourism is a niche now that I think you'll find very exciting. And one of the main reasons is because people are more stressed everywhere around the world. And a lot of that has to do with technology, the fast pace of life, and so on. And because of that, our research shows, and probably your research also, that people are wanting to travel, they want to relax and de-stress, and their wellness is very, very important. So I'll just cover very quickly a little bit of understanding wellness tourism and how wellness and spas have helped overcome seasonality in some sectors. And then there are 3 case studies that I think you'll find interesting. My favorite is the one in India, where they have made monsoon season a high season because of a wellness concept. The second one is Austria, where they have created a Tyrol wellness cluster and turned 2 seasons into 4 high seasons. And then the southwestern U.S., which is very hot and dry and has now become a spa mecca. So wellness tourism, it's a strong trend. Some numbers show that, your global wellness, your global tourism industry is very large, $3.2 trillion. The wellness industry is about a $2 trillion industry. So global wellness tourism is now been studied for the first time, and actually this is the report that just came out at the end of last year. It's the first Global Wellness Tourism Economy report, and it was done by SRI International. They were founded as Stanford Research Institute, and we commissioned them to do the report so that we would have some numbers finally. And you'll see in this report that $439 billion a year are associated with wellness travel. Some of the segments we've talked about today: cultural tourism, sports tourism, culinary tourism, and you can see in the blue there, that's wellness tourism, and it touches a lot of the other segments as well. So it's actually a good combination. One thing I wanted to point out on this slide: do you see that little blue, the darker blue circle? That is medical tourism. And you can see, comparatively, medical tourism is actually much smaller than wellness tourism. And what's happened now, and this is the latest trend, I would say, in the last 5 years, that medical tourism, which is a very important niche, has become something distinct from wellness tourism. So wellness is more proactive, staying healthy, and medical is for those who are having procedures and so on. And they can work well together. They can encourage each other. They can, I would say, recommend. Wellness can recommend medical. Medical can recommend wellness. However, fundamentally, when someone is going either on a medical travel trip or a wellness trip, they would be different travelers, as we found in our study. The definition of wellness tourism, it's travel associated with the pursuit of maintaining or enhancing one's personal well-being. And the one thing this study showed that I thought was really a landmark suggestion is they divided wellness tourism into primary purpose wellness travel and secondary purpose wellness travel. And that really made a lot of sense because not everyone travels only for the wellness experience, but some people do. So a primary purpose wellness traveler would be someone who is going specifically for their wellness. So, for example, if they're going maybe to Kur Hotel in Gramada, or maybe to Shivasam in Thailand, or Shaw Wellness in Spain, that would be a primary purpose wellness traveler. But there are many more that are secondary purpose wellness travelers. And those are people, let's say they're here at the Conrad and they visit the spa. They might have a massage, or they might go jogging, or they might join an adventure experience here. So that also is an important part for a wellness traveler. It's a secondary reason they're traveling. It's not the primary reason. So the wellness tourism economy, here are just the top line numbers. And by the way, the executive summary of this is available online, so you can access it if you like. Also, I did bring 20 copies, so if anyone is really interested, I'm sorry it's in English, but I'll be happy to give you one. So the top line numbers, 439 billion is a global market. It creates a lot of jobs. I don't know if everyone is aware that in the wellness and in the spa arena, we have a shortage of labor. So there are a lot of opportunities for jobs and actually for careers. The economic impact, 1.3 trillion, and 14% of all tourism spending. The other thing to note is that the wellness traveler is an extremely high-yield tourist. They spend much more than a regular tourist. And in particular, it's the domestic wellness traveler who spends 130% more than they would if they weren't involved in a wellness pursuit. And the international wellness traveler is also above a regular traveler at 65%. And then the other thing to know is that the shift from 2013 to 2017 is distinctly going from West to the developing world. So Asia, Latin America, the Middle East, and North Africa have the highest growth rates. And I brought a few of the Latin American wellness tourism market numbers. They're also in here, but you can see the numbers there, 22.4 billion, direct jobs, economic impact. But what's interesting, I think, is this chart, because it shows the top 5 nations for wellness tourism growth. And in Latin America, we have Mexico, Chile, Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay. So the percentage of annual growth expected in Uruguay in particular is 14.7%. So I think it has a lot of opportunity, and I'm very thrilled, Yolanda, to hear what you've talked about this morning with the 365 added to the name of the city, and also the energy focus. I think that is something that in the wellness space is very, very important and talked about quite a bit. So I think it'll be exciting what you can put together there. As I mentioned, this is the report. It's online at gsws.org, and I brought some copies. Okay, quickly, 3 success stories. My favorite is from Kerala, India. In the 80s, Kerala was not very well known at all, and it was a area for sun, sand, and surf. The tourism minister, who is Amitabh Kant, some of you may know him, he was also the architect of Incredible India campaign when he became more involved with the national government. But what he did, which was so brilliant, is he saw that in Kerala they had so many Ayurvedic clinics and centers. And Ayurveda is a specific health and wellness pursuit from India that's 5,000 years old. So he termed Kerala the land of Ayurveda. And he actually started the first campaign calling Kerala God's own country. And it was tremendously successful. And then later, which I found even more interesting, is they started marketing monsoon season, which of course was very, very much the low season, as the best season for Ayurveda, which it is, because with Ayurveda, having that balmy, moist season is something that's really very good for the body. So, the results, the trips to Kerala, which averaged 3 days in the 80s, now the average is 18 days. Because when you do Ayurveda, an experience of Ayurveda is really 3 weeks. It's a 3-week program. And double-digit growth and their 4-month market-to-market year-round went to where the monsoon season is on par with their high season. And I just found this online just the other day, Goa in the Rains, the magic of the monsoons. So they have really been able to be very creative with this. And the other thing I've learned about this is they targeted not international travelers, but people from India that might not be able to pay prices in the season. So they have been very creative and very successful in that regard. The second success story is Austria. This is a wellness focus that transforms 2-season region into a year-round, and someone already mentioned the ski seasons in Colorado, Austria, Switzerland, other places, obviously. And nowadays, a lot of times you can't really count on the snow even. Even in your high season, you're not always sure that you'll have snow. So many places have added spas, and in particular, Austria got together, and it wasn't just one property, but many properties decided we're going to add spa, and then we're going to add spa programming and be serious about what they're doing. It wasn't just a matter of a spa and we offer massage, but they have programs. And so they got together, and now I understand November used to be the month they closed. These hotels were absolutely closed. Now it's one of their highest revenue months. And they ended up calling it Tyrol Wellness. And here you can see online wellness hotels in Tyrol, and you can see that they're working together has really been very much a plus for them. And then finally, the southwestern U.S. It's very hot in Arizona and in Utah, Las Vegas, Palm Springs. And those sizzling temperatures, normally, many years ago, people would just not even bother to go. And then in 1979, Canyon Ranch opened in Tucson. In the U.S., that's a very famous spa because they did a lot of marketing, and they really galvanized the whole wellness and spa and fitness resort arena. And then what happened is a competitor to them opened called Miraval. And it was interesting because I've been in the industry so long. When Miraval opened, I know Canyon Ranch was quite upset because, they were so similar and they are in the same town in Tucson, Arizona. But what happened is that over time, because of Miraval, because of Canyon Ranch, because of Scottsdale and Phoenix adding spectacular spas to their resorts, it started becoming known as a spa mecca. And now the entire area is marketed as, a healing climate. And just to make the point, it was actually last weekend, you can see the New York Times, it was April 25th. There was a huge article in the leisure section, and it says, I quote, Arizona has become a booming economy of resorts and spas that cater to people seeking relaxation and restoration. So you can see that was a huge story in the New York Times, 3 pages of photos and on, a lot about Miraval and some of the other places. So the area has become known as a spa mecca. So thank you very much. If you have any questions or if you'd like to get a copy of the report, just let me know. I appreciate being invited.